enough, good people. We're back into another exciting video. We're going to get right into this video here. Let's go.
Though 50-50 custody has proven to be the best way to raise a kid, the state will never allow it because 50-50 custody means less or no child support. Child support is a $60 billion business here in America, and the state gets reimbursed 66% for every dollar they collect in child support. So more men on child support means more money in the state's pocket.
Yes, my friends, that is just a reality. This whole thing is a money scheme. These politicians who sit up and talk and say, oh, we're doing it for the children. No. They're not doing it for the children. They are doing it for the money that they are getting, which brings into the coffers. On most of the time, what happens is, let's say this is this. I'm sure it's happening here in Canada too, but this is happening throughout the states and other countries. They know every year they're getting 50 billion or whatever it is amount of money every year. Usually because they know it's coming in every year, they've already spent that money, so they're expecting it next year. That is the same with parking tickets and speeding tickets, right? Most of the police job is to basically be a tax collector. They have to bring in a certain amount of revenue, which they expect every year, and they've already allocated it for other purposes. So they expect this money. If people stop speeding and parking illegally and there's no child support, it would throw the government into a spin. So this is not we're doing it because we love you. No. They're not doing anything because they don't love anybody, right? But it's a necessary thing which they need. So they have to keep this going. That is the way it works.
In 2020 alone, the state of Texas collected a record high of $4 billion in child support. 66% of $4 billion is going to be reimbursed to the state of Texas by the federal government.
And as Biggie Small said, if you don't know, now you know.
How dare you?
Women can't pay for their children. They can get government assistance, but what men can't pay for, we go to jail.
That's a good question.
That is exactly right, because she does not have an answer. And if you're expecting a better answer, forget it. Let's shift a little bit to the left here. We've got a woman who put up a post saying if you put a father into a full-time daddy position, he will fold and basically things will go south. But they are mitigating circumstances which she's not thinking about, which we will clarify. Let's go.
Right, this is a post where a woman, posted this. She said, put some daddies in a full-time mother position, bet he'll fold. Right? And the response that she got was from one Casey Campbell. And Casey says, make sure he gets Section 8, cash aid, food stamps, WIC, 10 tax credits, stimulus checks.
Just as a little sidebar here, men are not really that good at looking after infants, especially when they're around 0 to about 1 or 2. That could be an issue.
SSI, child support, transportation allotments, clothing allowance, diaper allowance, free phone, discounted utility bills, free child care.
Let's take a break. Okay, there's more. Continue.
Free college tuition, financial aid, college grants, free medical insurance, and free gender-based mental health support. For example, female domestic violence, male postpartum. Then, if he folds after that, you ladies can talk, yo. And this is one of the gender divides in the Black community, because I think this has become such a reality for so many women that the perspective on men, if they're not able to match this, is that you're not working hard enough, you're not innovative enough, you're not ambitious enough, you're not out there moving and shaking the way I am. And the other thing that tends to happen...
Well, there we go. Resources, benefits, institutions, all set up and ready to help. And this is understandable. Nobody likes to see women fail. It's one thing to see a guy on the street sleeping on a vent. It's a totally different thing to see a woman on the street sleeping on a vent. That's hard to look at. And that's partially why these resources are flooded that way. Like I said, you see a mother and a child on the street, that is really, really hard to look at and walk by and do nothing. See a guy on the street, whatever, scruffy looking, whatnot, it's pretty easy to walk by and keep going. Tell me I'm wrong.
is when resources are made readily available, the way she defines ambition, the way even the confidence behind wanting to go out and change the world, well, that's a product of actually being able to see the benefits, being having institutions reach out and participate with you. It's going to spawn a very different reaction than...
Why is it when a woman doesn't have a man, she often has to take on a masculine role?
Well, before she answers that question, she should really lose that headpiece, if it's permanent or not. It's got to go. That's just not working for me. But she can do whatever she wants.
What difference at this point does it make?
But when a man doesn't have a woman, he doesn't necessarily have to take on a feminine role.
Ooh. That's too good a question for me to answer personally.
That's too good a question for me to get into personally. I'm going to give her credit. She didn't try and dance her way out of it. She just admitted, hey, that is a rare thing. Usually they start hunting for excuses or say something else, or I have a friend, or something else. No, she didn't do the dance. She said, you know what? You got me there. And I respect that.
Wouldn't that prove that masculinity is more essential for survival than femininity?
I had never thought about that, so...
Well, there you go. See how the question hits her and her reaction. This tells me I think she is a solid thinking person. Looks like she's very logical. Although that tattoo's got to go on her head. Come on, it's got to go. No, it's not working.
All right.
And if that's true, why is masculinity seen as toxic?
Masculinity is vital for society to continue existing.
So I learned from watching the podcast that in Florida law, if my wife and me are together and she steps out on us and has a baby and she comes back, the baby is officially mine.
Well, here you go. If you didn't quite catch that, if his wife steps out, has a kid for Joe, whatever, Joe or Frank or whatever the guy's name is, comes back home, has a baby, officially it is his, and the reason for that is because the state doesn't want to pay for this kid. They have to have someone to pay for it, and you're the guy. That's the way it works. This is the world we live in, and it's not going to change anytime soon, my friends. That is it. I am out, and I will see you later.